Hello, I'm Santino Mattioli, and today ITV is in the studio with Community Impact Weekend. Hi, thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks so very much for having us.
Yeah.
So just to start, could you tell me a little bit about what Impact Weekend is all about?
Yeah, absolutely. And Community Impact Weekend started as a collaboration, and it actually started between a collaboration between a couple of our friends at churches within this community, Calvary Lutheran and then Clarkson Community Church. And they were serving the community together, and saw this as a need, and started to work together for this. And it brought in different businesses, organizations, and other churches. And so we've benefited from this great work in our community to serve the community.
Okay, so it sounds like collaboration is a huge part of this organization. Could you kind of dive into that and kind of talk about the larger scope of the collaboration in the community?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's really cool about Community Impact Weekend is all the different people that come from different organizations and churches and things like that to plan it. So, I mean, I work for Health Quest Physical Therapy. We have 3 different churches, 4 different churches, 5 different churches sometimes, different nonprofits in the community. We also partner with My Habitat Clarkston, which is a huge contributor to how this all started as well. And having everyone work together to plan it for the greater good of the community is huge in what we're all about.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, lots of people chipping in different ways. And obviously there's a lot of volunteering that needs to be done for Community Impact Weekend. I mean, this thing mobilizes hundreds of volunteers each time it happens. And Community Impact Weekend is set to happen on the last weekend of April of every year, and then the first weekend of November of every year. And so hundreds of volunteers are mobilized, but it takes resources, and businesses step up in big ways. Our schools speak into different projects and opportunities, our senior center, different organizations within the community. It is really a collaboration.
Awesome. So what kind of work do you do in the community for Impact Weekend?
Yeah, so projects range from helping people clean up their yards to tearing down sheds, different things with Clarkson Family Farms, cleaning up Sashabaw Elementary and things like that too, gardening at the senior center. We've even done things, especially during the pandemic, letter writing that were a little bit more safe and people could kind of distance and even do from home, you know, writing letters to soldiers and nurses and doctors who are all working really hard during a really tough time in our community as well. So yeah, lots of different opportunity there.
Yeah, you helped tear down a shed.
We did, that was
right?
a blast, yeah, sledgehammers and all. It was so much fun, yeah.
Yeah, but it's really great because a big part of it is really understanding the need, and it's asking organizations that do great things in our community, it's asking individuals, how can we come alongside and help? What's going on and what needs you have? And so based on that, there's a team that comes together. Nicole's part of that, I'm a part of that. We got some great people on that help collaborate, help plan, and then we brainstorm what projects do we need to present to the community. And so out of that, there's a big list. And it's an invitation for people to volunteer, to contribute, to help out based on that list. And a shameless plug for that list, it's on our website, www.communityimpactweekend.org.
Fantastic. I hope people go check it out. It sounds like the volunteers kind of get a lot out of being involved in this. Could you kind of speak on that, like the personal touches that people get from it?
I'll let the person that tore down a shed start with that one.
Yeah, so part of volunteering is definitely giving back, and the reward that just comes from giving of yourself and your time and your resources to other people who need it. And then also, you know, from a business perspective, it is really cool to watch our team, you know, our coworkers come together kind of as a little family unit to go help accomplish something for the greater good. So volunteers really get like a twofold, maybe even more. Blessing out of that is just being able to build better relationships with the people that you work with or people that you go to church with or whatever the case may be, and also doing something that's impactful for the long term too in the community that we work in already and that we love.
Yeah, spot on. And it's been said, it's more blessed to give than to receive. And so when people volunteer, I mean, there is absolutely this element of, you know, you're fulfilled when you work as a family to go serve a senior, when you go and work at an elementary school to help out, or whatever you might do at one of our wonderful organizations in the community. People mention, you know, this is so meaningful. Another way that I love Community Impact Weekend, you know, our community is so great because because of the way that it works together and builds into each other. I mean, I love Independence TV, just helping highlight this and bring people together for this. So one of the cool things is people get a chance to try something new on it, and people want to be a part of serving in this wonderful community. Here's a list of opportunities that are already prepared, and people might look through that list and say, you know what, I want to try this, or I've heard of that organization, or I'd love to serve and I don't know how. And this is such a great conduit, such a great springboard for people to engage in the community.
That's awesome. I mean, people get the double blessing from it, where they get to give, and they also get to take something away from it, like doing something, building a shed, doing certain things with their hands. Yeah. I love doing that work out in the community too, so that's amazing.
And it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun, and we get to do something different every, spring and fall. It's not like you have to rake leaves both times. We've torn down sheds, we've volunteered with Draw, Disaster Relief at Work. We're doing Clarkson Family Farm this fall.
Oakland Hope.
There's so many different things, and it's fun. So on top of the blessing of giving and all that teamwork and team building, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and different skill sets too. So there's some handyman ministry, some handyman work that needs to be done. That works through My Habitat Clarkston. That's just meeting people's needs in their homes, and that's great. And sometimes there's carpentry needs. Sometimes there's other needs, and it brings out that. But for people like me that aren't so gifted in those ways, if there's grunt labor, I'm all for it. It's good.
Yeah, everyone pitches in a hand and helps out where they can, I guess. So yeah. So how many volunteers do you guys mobilize for this event?
Gosh, hundreds. I mean, I know it's in the hundreds somehow. I know maybe our highest year was 700, 800-ish.
About that.
So it just kind of depends on what projects are available and the time of year, obviously. But yeah, and the organizations and the people that we help is well into the hundreds as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and lots of opportunities. We'd love to have even more. So if you're watching this, think about ways that you'd love to plug in. And there's always room for people to serve in this great community of ours.
And if people wanted to volunteer and get involved, where would they go to do that?
Love that question.
Yeah.
Do you want to give the website this time?
I can do it. Yeah, communityimpactweekend.org. So if you have a project or something that does need to be done around your home, that's also where you would go to find the link to sign up for that. And then if you wanted to get involved and volunteer, there are projects for all ages and abilities. I'm bringing my 3-year-old this fall to help at the Clarkson Family Farm. And if you're not as able-bodied or not comfortable getting out there quite yet, there are definitely things you can do from home as well. So there's something for everyone if you go to communityimpactweekend.org.
Well, we really thank you for coming in the studio. This is an awesome event, and I'm glad to hear that happens 2 times a year. So definitely get involved with Community Impact Weekend. If you can, go to the website, and thank you for joining us in the studio and sharing this with us.
And you'll be joining us this fall, right?
Nicely done.
Shameless plug.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, and thanks so very much for having us. We look forward to seeing you first weekend of November, last weekend of April, and blessings on you.